Did anyone have any, just curious, did anyone have any trouble getting around yesterday? I mean, driving, if you drove anywhere?
Yeah, I didn't go in
Oh, I was just astonished that they canceled, they closed school. Anyway. I guess this is the South. Okay. Let me log in. How's everyone doing? Everyone have a decent week? Yes, lousy weather, huh? So what do y'all remember from last week? What sticks out as something? Librarian, what does Galileo stand for? You remember? What does the GA in Galileo stands for? Georgia. What is the, what's next, the LI? Library, okay. What about the EO? Or LEO? Learning online? Maybe not? Okay. I'm not gonna test anybody on that. Does anyone remember how to get to Galileo?
Blackboard?
Yeah, Blackboard. So, let's say I'm on the courses page here, and I'm wondering, well, I can't find Galileo, right? So what do? You go to the institution page. And for those who weren't here especially, be mindful, because this is key. You go to the institution page, and then you got Library Galileo. Okay, so you got that, no thanks. Opens you up to the home page. I'm not gonna redo this, but if anyone needs help, this is where you're gonna go if you're having trouble accessing Galileo, or even to do basic research. There are lots of ways to search the catalog, as you showed. I'm not gonna go over them again. But if anyone didn't miss this session, or the session last week, or if you want a refresher, this is where you want to go. The Galileo homepage, then you've got this thing, you scroll down, and toward the lower right, you've got online workshops and events. So the English department requires face-to-face with the librarian for all the classes that require face-to-face. So if you're in like an exclusively online course, you'd be doing this online with the librarian. So why am I saying that? Because if you missed it, there are online vehicles to do the session. This is where you find them. And as I understand from the librarian last week, you can sign up for one through this way. So seriously, one just ended, but nonetheless, just follow me. Hit the Galileo link, scroll down, and find one of these to join. Surely won't have any problem with you just popping in. Why it's important, you need to learn how to use Galileo to find good research material. There's just scads and scads of very high quality material in here. It can be overwhelming, but it is going to be essential for y'all to find information for the workplace portfolio assignments that we're going to do later, and so on. Yes, questions?
What's today's lesson about?
You can be writing paragraphs and other grammatical things.
Grammatical things and paragraphs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So anyhow, this is Galileo. Please sign up if you didn't, or go back, because you're going to need to use this for the workplace portfolio stuff that I just said. And that workplace portfolio stuff is worth 40% of the grade. So there's a lot at stake there. So please do your best with the research. Again, the person that said last week, this stuff is all vetted, so it's not like you're just doing a random Google search and finding AI gobbledygook. And this is all quality material. So nonetheless, if you missed last week, or if you missed any session, right? Okay, people, it's hard to be perfect attendance, so I get it. So, and I just remembered that I forgot to say during the first week that I can drop the two lowest grades in what they call the, sort of the assignments category, which is worth a total of 30% of the grade. So if you missed last week and you didn't hand in, and you weren't here to hand anything, or if something else happened, you missed another in-class session, I can drop two of those. So if you got the zero, don't sweat it. It'll be dropped. If you have 2 zeros, those will be dropped. But please don't get any more than 2 zeros, please, because that's when it's going to really start to hurt. And it's one of those things where, what kind of risk do you want to take? You think, okay, I don't feel like going to class today. I'll just take 0, and then say you do it again. Okay, maybe you're sick. Something happens. And what if you have another emergency come up, something where you can't get into class? Then all of a sudden, I'll drop the 2 zeros, but then another 0 is going to, be in the grade side. And that's again where it starts to hurt. So please don't tempt fate. Just come to class if you can. If something happens, there might have been icy roads. People didn't want to travel last week. That's totally understandable. People get the flu and all that kind of stuff. So that, 1 0, 2 zeros aren't going to hurt you if you miss class. So anyhow, so apologize for me forgetting to say that. Some people have asked about how can I make up the work. I said, well, you can't because we need to do this stuff in class. That's in class, but there is tolerance for missing class. So anyhow. I want to run through a few things here, and this is to some degree where I find that I just want to say this class can present a little bit of a challenge, because if everybody had the same baseline skill sets, it would be really easy because I could just build off of that. Because some of the as I said at the beginning, some of this stuff is going to be mechanics, sort of grammar, that kind of stuff, usage, word usage. So we're going to have some degree of study for those items, and we're also going to practice mechanics by putting things in writing. So for our first, if they categorize this as lesson 1, because there's a number of things that we want to go over. And sorry, we did lesson 1 with similar formatting. So the next part, my bad. I should have opened this up at the beginning of class. And then, let's see, everything now in lesson 2 should now be open. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about the illustration paragraph, which I want you to write for next week. So please, pay attention, because there's some things about the illustration paragraph we're going to talk about. But the other side of it is the grammatical things that, again, some people are going to go, this is too easy. Some people go, oh, I didn't know that. Usually, even if you think something is too easy, it seems to me that just with having taught these classes, there's always things that people thought they knew that they didn't know, or they thought was one way, actually wasn't the way they thought it was. So bear with me. And as I said, I think earlier the first day, sometimes things can get a little dry. So this may be one of those things that can be a little bit dry. But what I want to,
What's the assignment that we need to do today?
I'll get to it.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be part of the illustration paragraph, because there's some steps that we want to go through in order to write it. So bear with me. 6, 8. So what I want to do is I want to try to power through 6, 8, and 13. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought I heard a question. No worries. 6, 8, and 13, and then next week I'm just sort of thinking out loud here. So what I'd like to do today is to get through chapters 6, 8, and 13. And then what I want to do is next week, 14 and 16, and then have our quiz. Maybe I'll see how far we can go. We can have a quiz on all these, because I think it's going to be, these things tend to be easy for most. And what I'm going to do is post some practice sets in the meantime. So let me actually just, let me demo a practice set real quick. Because I tend to, I like to use Excel. In my former life, I used Excel all the time, and I created what, in my opinion, some pretty neat things in Excel. Are people, is anyone not familiar with Excel? Is that one? Anyone else? Two? Okay. Sorry. I try to make this really, really easy. It's one of the things I like about Excel. Resources. Oh yeah, okay. So this is where I put things like my little practice sets. This is, you see the XLSX, that's the suffix for Excel. So, and this isn't available to you, so don't, I just want to show this, so I want to demo it. And then I'll show you how to use it, actually. So when you open one of these up, you're going to get something that looks like this. And some of the stuff is how I've coded it, behind the scenes. So don't try to do anything with this. But what you've got is this little download box up here. And it says tense consistency, and I'm just gonna click it. Now it's gonna pop up in my thingy here in Excel. Now, one of these things if you look at the bottom, there's this little arrow. And again, and so you can see two little things that look like tabs, but in Excel, they call these things worksheets, and the file, they call it a workbook. And what you got is, I've given a whole bunch of questions here. And this isn't gonna be ones, well, I mean, at some point we'll use this one. But what you got here is, you got a sentence. Last year we attended school and played soccer. So, if this is gonna be, if you think the sentence is in correct English, actually, I'm gonna go back here. So last year, because actually what you wanna do is just look at the questions first, because the tabs, worksheets are gonna be set up this way. So last year, we attended school and played soccer. So, we got our past tense attended, our past tense played, and so that sounds like a good sentence to me. If it was,
How did you get right there?
I'm gonna actually post this for you, so you can,
So we're not supposed to be doing our thing?
you're not yet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, last year, we attended school and played soccer. Attended and played are both past tense, so, it's a good sentence, tense consistency. If you said we attended school and play soccer, all of a sudden, it's not tense consistent, because you're dealing with past tense and current stuff here. So, is the sentence correct, yes or no? So I'm gonna say yes. Okay, and then I'm just in this box, I hit Y or N, and if I put D or something, you'll see what it does. So Amy read a book and led a discussion. That sounds good to me. Amy read a book and leads a discussion. That doesn't sound very good to me, because she read past tense and leads current. So nonetheless, why am I doing this? Because I just want to.
I got a question about that last one. Did Amy read the book and lead the discussion?
She read a book.
Amy read a book.
Yeah. So past tense, as opposed to she reads a book. If I said she reads a book and leads a discussion, then I'd be tense consistent. But she read a book in the past, leads a discussion, future or current. So, anyhow, so let's pop down. So I got 3 out of 4 right. You see I put the letter B in here, because it's only gonna read, is it a Y or an N? So if you even typed in, yes, it's gonna still say an error, because it's reading this, the coding behind the scenes is reading Y or N. So even if you have a blank, it's gonna give you an error. So you gotta put something in. So what does this do for you? I mean, here's practice quizzes. They're fairly easy. I think this is pretty user-friendly. So anyway, so you go to questions, you answer each question Y or N, then you go over here and you go, oh, whoops, I got an error. And then, you want to go back and look at what was my error, try to figure it out, try again. So I think this is a lot easier to use, better feedback than you can get if I use with Blackboard quizzes and all that kind of stuff, in my opinion anyway. And also from my perspective, that it's very easy for me to put lots of questions in something like this, as opposed to putting lots of questions in Blackboard, because the Blackboard is, to say the least, isn't very nimble. Okay, so save as. Tense consistency. actually, if you can go through this, and this will just be our, sort of our test run, because I wanna make sure everybody can do this. I'm just gonna pop it under course. Lessons, course resources. Wait a minute, is this? No, it's not the right one. We'll talk about not being nimble content. Courses. Start here. Course resources. Pop this open. Upload. Downloads. Okay. Save. Make it open. Alright, so if you refresh your screen, this thing on tense consistency should be there. I just want to make sure everyone knows how to use this, because this is the functionality that I use for these practice sets. So let me know if it's there, and let me know.
Lesson 2?
It's under course resources.
What are we supposed to click on lesson 2?
So you open up your shell, and then you scroll down a little bit to course resources. You're going to click that one, and then toward the bottom you should see tense consistency.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you ever got it?
Yeah.
Okay, click it. And like I said, don't try to do anything with what you see, because what this has done is it's taken the text in Excel and it's just put it into a block. And this isn't gonna do anything for you. So you've got the download button up here to the upper right, and you wanna click it. And then as you see this pops up, you should get a little file box. It has the green X, and you wanna click that, and then boom, it just opened this up for me. Now, it's one of these things with Excel. Did anyone else, does this work for anyone else? Did you get Excel open up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Bring it back.
Do you have Excel on that computer? Okay, that's why. So if you're logged into the Gwinnett system, you're gonna get Excel. If you don't have Excel on your computer, it's gonna pull it up in something else that I won't be able to help you with. So, and the thing with Excel is gonna remember the last iteration you had up. So what you should see is down below, this item called question. You should see questions with answers. That's not the one you want. You want to click below the box tab thing that says questions. Then you want to go here. Okay. And I'm bringing this up because I'm going to put lots of practice sets for you to prepare for the quiz we're going to have maybe next week, if not 2, or I may make it a take home just because I feel a little pressed for time and I don't like to rush through stuff. But there'll be a lot of stuff like this, okay, that you're going to see on the quiz. But the quiz will be the blackboard because that'll capture everything. But these items here are just practice. You can sit down and click, and do it. Oh, whoops, I got that one wrong. So, okay. Does this make sense? Are people able to walk through this? Okay. Good. All right. So that's tense consistency. We'll go back to the things I wanted to talk about, just sort of. Okay. So 6, 8, and 13. I'll try to get through today. Actually, the subject verb tense consistency, that's already part of it. So let's see, let's pop up in the book. 6, 8, 13.
What do we write on illustration paragraph assignment?
We're going to get to that. That's going to be toward the end. Which resources? So have people popped open the textbook yet?
How do you do that?
Okay, so what we wanna do is, we're gonna go back to the shell. We're gonna go to, I think it's under course resources again, so if you, click course resources, and you're gonna see something that says textbook and course materials, boom. And it's not here, oh, here it is, Writer's World. Okay, we're a little bit different. Then you're gonna see the textbook cover here, you're gonna click it. And then I can see it, maybe you have to double click it. Then you're, you know, why do they have all this many steps? Then you go to read now, boom. So we're gonna do some things on chapter 6, 8, and 13, but just some things about navigation. One, like I just mentioned with Excel, it remembers where you were last. So, you know, last time I opened this book, I was on page 365. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click the contents, upper right. See, we got these dots and then followed by a line, contents. And let's just go to the very top, Writer's World, and it just gives you some junk about it. The oddity with this is that when you see a next button, you think you could just click the next button and go to the next page. No. It doesn't work that way here. Don't ask me why I didn't design this. So you want to go below, and you see the arrows that go back and forth. You know, then it's going to start walking through stuff. But if you don't want to walk through all of it, I wouldn't want to either. You can go to the contents, and they've got 2 content sets. You know, you've got 3 contents, which is just going to give you the title of the chapter. So we'll look at that, etc. And then I'm going to go hit my back button. And if you want to go to, actually not the back button. Then if I want to go to contents, it's going to give me full-blown contents. So just like if you may have picked up, you know, the prior one, you know, just the high-level contents, it's going to tell you paragraph patterns. That's all it would have given you. And all of a sudden, but it's got, you know, 8 or 9 here paragraph patterns down below. And like I said, we're going to do the illustration paragraph. So why don't we just jump into that? So to do that, we'll just click 42, or the illustration paragraph, boom, that's gonna take us right there, so.
42?
Yeah, page 42.
You go down here and put that in there?
Well, yeah, if you follow me up here, where I've got paragraph, are you on the blown out, are you on the high level or detailed contents?
Says part 3, reading strategies and selections.
So, how did you get there?
I thought I did it.
Okay, so if I do my 3
Yeah,
dot
click up there
line,
on the content.
then I got contents.
Contents, bookmark.
And then I go down to paragraph patterns, chapter 4. Yeah, contents.
Then go down to 4. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, and then you know, paragraph patterns, then if you just click A, you know, it's gonna take you right to page 42. Alternatively, and this would be a little bit of a pain if you wanna remember page numbers, but sometimes assignments are given saying go to page number X, you know, do the items on page number X. You could just type in your page number down here, it'll do the same thing. Okay. So, let me ask, has anyone written an illustration paragraph before? I guess you don't know wants to say yes, because you know if you say yes, I'm gonna ask you. Tell me about it. Who has, who's willing to talk about what an illustration paragraph is? It might sound obvious. I mean, you know, here I'm gonna want 5 sentences, you know, for the assignment due next week. You know, something to illustrate your main point. You know, if you and here they bring in here, you know, if you want to talk about, well, here they're bringing up your grandmother's ring, your photo album, you know, you can start talking about things that illustrate your point. So, you know, their example, you know, maybe worth reading, you know, talking about the human brain. You know, it seems to be programmed for song, Then they come up with examples, you know, just bringing up why, you know, they talk about the lullaby and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, what I wanna point out here is, you know, about the brain being programmed for song, that's their opinion, right? It seems to be. Now they, you know, obviously you're gonna start your illustrated paragraph with your opinion about something, then you're gonna give me examples as to why, and I'd like sort of vivid examples, things like I can see. I'll explain more detail about the assignments, because I want you to write something. Again, I like y'all to write career-related things, so I want you to tell me something about, you know, something career-related, something you're gonna be doing. You know, and it could be, you know, again, I'd like to lean in that direction. And what I want you to do is to have 3 examples, you know, as to why, you know, it's either, you know, a great career or you know, what you do on site. Try to help give me examples to explain it. So, and again, I want to have a concluding paragraph. So here they got, the human brain seems to be programmed for song. They come up with all these reasons why. They talk about listening to music, recent pleasure producing endorphins and lower blood pressure. There's an awful lot of verbiage in here that I don't really want, and I'll go into that. That's something we're going to work on during the term. Then finally, they got their concluding paragraph. So it's always great to start your concluding sentence rather with finally. So then they talk about music by bringing people together, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And it seems to be a fundamental building block for the development of culture. A lot of stuff here. I think the video that I want to go through is going to be a little bit better, and help you put things together. So a few things about just putting this together. This is kind of what I want you to do as the in-class assignment, because I want to sort of like get you going. And let me open up a box real quick. Under lesson 2. I'm just going to put it here. Create. Sign up.
Yes, we do. You spelled illustration wrong.
It's not my spelling, it's really my typing, but thank you for pointing that out. I've gotten to the point where I just talk to the machine to spell it for me, because I just don't like typing anymore. So nonetheless, what I want you to do is come up or create a topic. For an illustration paragraph. 3 items that create a topic, no opinion. For items that support, actually rather better examples that support the opinion. Simple, right? So I'm going to save this. It's visible to students. But that's what I want you all to leave with today. You know, then while you're home during the week, you know, we'll have a platform for what you want to what to write about. So let me jump over real quickly to go back to this one.
Come here.
Information for lesson 2. So how to write one. So I'm gonna kind of like I did before. I'm gonna bring this up. Pause. I just want to do it short and sweet.
Hi, welcome. Illustration is a type of informative writing. It is also called exemplification or example. When you write an illustration paragraph, you support your topic sentence by providing vivid examples to prove your claim stated in your topic sentence.
Now, vivid is a good word. I mean, because I want something descriptive when you do this. So don't just tell me it's it's fun. That tells you absolutely nothing. If you were just going to write something about, athletics or something, oh, they're fun. Oh, I get to meet people. Oh, I improve my health. by doing athletics, that kind of a thing. I would really want something more developed, something elongated, to help support, your opinion.
Step 1. Choose a topic. For example, my math teacher. Step 2. List 3 keywords or phrases to illustrate.
And by the way, don't write about me, okay? I want this career related, so, it's gonna be something related. I really, again, wanna focus on that, why is it a good career? Because it's this and this and this and this, and examples as to why.
Illustrate your math teacher's attitude. For example, poor teaching techniques, terrible student attitude, annoying personal habits.
Okay, that basically is the in-class assignment, right there.
Step 3.
Oops.
Use your keyword.
I want you all to come up with a topic and 3 things that support the topic. That's simple, right?
Words or phrases and write your topic sentence. State your claim. State your topic and include the 3 key elements that explain why you like or dislike the topic you are writing about. For example, although most teachers care about their students and try to create a good impression in the classroom, my math teacher with his poor teaching techniques, terrible student attitude, and annoying personal habits doesn't.
Okay. Let's see, how do I get rid of,
Get a full size and put the X in there.
I don't see a full size, is it down over here? There it is.
Yes, sir.
And escape,
No, bottom.
there we go, thank you. So,
Attitude and annoying personal habits doesn't.
okay, a few things about this. Now, this is the kind of introductory sentence, that I would like to see. There are a few things about this that I would like to see. What I'd like is the introductory, although most teachers care about the students and try to create a good impression of the classroom, that's maybe a little bit long, but that's our introductory sentence. It's our dependent clause. And then you got your comma here. And I'm bringing this up because I guarantee you there's gonna be a bunch of people that are gonna make mistakes right in the beginning. So you got a little long, small, although, whatever, make a good impression of the classroom, comma, my math teacher with his couple things here. Notice we've got a list. Poor teaching techniques, terrible student attitude, and I'm gonna tell you to put a comma after the second item because we're dealing with lists. There's debate over whether or not, the item before the and should have a comma, but they call this the Oxford comma, and what I'm gonna tell you at some point, always put the comma there. There's money involved and stuff like that, because it can be misleading, and you can be sued, if you don't have a comma. And some people win, believe me. So anyway, so you got his poor teaching techniques, comma, terrible student attitude, like I said, I would put the comma in there, and annoying personal habits doesn't. So we got our 3 things. Now this is like what do they call it? Foreshadowing in a way, because the paragraph that you're gonna write, I want these things listed. So, so we got our 3 things here, and you're gonna list your 3 things here with your commas in your first sentence.
Step 4. Write your supporting sentences. Write 1 sentence that explains your first key word. Write 1 to 2 sentences that provide a specific example that develops and supports your key word. Using a transitional phrase, write 1 sentence to explain your second key word. Write 1 to 2 sentences that provide a specific example that develops and supports your second key word.
Does this make sense? So as we're gonna see, we're gonna go down, and we have the 3 things in the beginning, and we're gonna have each sentence is going to connect to each one of those things.
Using a transitional phrase, write 1 sentence to explain your third key word. Write 1 to 2 sentences that provide a specific example that develops and supports your third key word.
So
Step 5. Write a concluding sentence. Write a sentence that wraps things up.
So again, back to the things I said before, you're gonna see in the instructions to the assignment, 5 sentences. You want an introduction, I'm gonna want 3 things in the introductory sentence. I'm gonna want 3 points, I'm gonna want connectors, and then I want a concluding sentence.
6. Check for unity and coherence. Ensure that all sentences refer back to your topic sentence. To strengthen the flow, repeat key words or phrases and use transitions to link sentences. Step 7. Always proofread. Below is your sample paragraph. My math teacher, Mr. Dillon. Although most teachers care about their students and try to create a good impression in the classroom, my math teacher with his annoying personal habits, poor teaching techniques, and terrible student attitude doesn't. For example, a very annoying habit is that Mr. Dillon has a story for every math problem and he expects everyone to look interested when he tells his story.
Okay, so there are obviously more than 5 sentences here, but you see where they got, for example, comma. You know, this is our first, transitional words, and it feeds back to the first item listed. Kind of formulaic, but this works.
Because many of us cannot hide our boredom, he often punishes the whole class for being inattentive. In addition, Mr. Dillon explained.
Again, another introductory in addition. So, for example, in addition, our little
Problems
connectors.
vaguely. However, when we figure out the right answers, he constantly tells us to show our work for every little problem when we already have the correct answer. Further, he has terrible student attitude. In particular, I don't raise my hand because I don't want to answer, but he likes to call on me. Consequently, I stare at him because I am mad, so he tries to outstare me. In other words, I used to love solving math problems, and now I am faced with my greatest math problem, and that is solving Mr. Dillon.
So, kind of makes sense? Transitional words, consequently, and don't use the same connector. They see here they're using 3 different ones. For example, they're talking about his annoying habit. Then further on, in addition, he explains problems vaguely, so it refers to his bad teaching techniques. And then terrible student attitude. Which one does this connect to? A lot of these can really connect to that, but because all I want is 5 sentences. This is giving you extra. That's all good. You can give me extra if you want to, but all I really need is 5. And just give me, because looking at this, I can understand why the student doesn't like his math teacher. I mean, he's giving me examples, and they're pretty, vivid. I mean, I think I could relate. I've had math teachers like that, or other teachers like that. So, anyhow. Just a practice exercise, illustration paragraph. Here's kind of the model. So people feel comfortable with that? 5 sentences, connecting words, commas.
You want us to write 5 sentences about our math teacher?
No, well, no. I want you to write, the topic I want you to pick is something career related. So, you can talk about something, something you like about the career, something you might be doing on the job as a career, but you have to say something. I want opinions. So maybe let's take 5, and if you can just work with the person next to you, if you're like in 3s, maybe 3 of you. Now what I want, I guess, is if you can just amongst each other tell each other what your topic is, and come up with 3 things that support the topic. Fair enough? So like, in the back, you 2, you 3, maybe, 2 and 3, and 2 and 2, and 3, y'all can. Because the box is open now, because this is kind of like the deliverable of the day, but I want you to have 3 things. I'm gonna ask you each, what those things are, so that we're going in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, and in the box, yeah.
Way too much. Mr.
Yes.
Lane, I don't know how to do this.
Well, I mean, first things first, have you, amongst the three of you, talked about what you want, what your topic and your three supportings? Because I kind of wanted you three to be together to talk about this.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Giovanni? Say it again. Giovanni. You? Daniel. Say it. How many sentences should we get?
Yes.
Five?
Is there a question?
So we're just supposed to be like, explaining the topic and then.
You want the topic, three supportings for that topic. So, plumbers are the greatest people on earth, you know, explain why. You know, but I want three things. Why are they the greatest people on earth? You know, that's sort of wild kind of idea. But just something like that. You know, what do you want to do professionally? I mean,
Work in HVAC.
HVAC. Okay. So something about HVAC. Why? You know, then three supporters. Okay.
I don't know how to do cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. I don't know how to do this.
Speak up the so I can hear you. Like, basically saying, like, making the topic, let's say you just say, like, oh, cybersecurity is the best. You make up, like, three, and be like, why? Support.
How ready are we?
It helps keep computers and electronic systems safe from hackers trying to hack in across mayhem.
So what is it, one more? What's the first one?
It helps keep computers and electronic systems safe from hackers trying to cause mayhem on it. And yeah,
In simple words?
it also solves any kind of problem it has on hacker causes on their own account.
Yes or no?
And also
I'm gonna ask everybody to find
when it's finding what the problem that it's in
three
face
supportings.
to fix it.
So, you got your topic? You got your topic? Okay. Say sports, what's your topic? No, what your own topic.
Oh, okay. I have.
Their computers and electronic systems kept safe from hackers trying to cause mayhem.
Okay, do you have your three pros for it? Okay, write them down. What I want is a topic and three supports.
Yeah.
So like I kind of brought up, again, say playing sports is a great way to meet people.
Problems that occur on the account.
Playing sports is a great thing. Okay, that's my general topic. I think it's a great thing. Then you can say, that's also, it's good for exercise. I don't want you to use sports, I want you to do your own thing, but I want it to be something like professionally related, possibly not professional, you know. But I'm just coming up with an example, like sports are a great thing. You can meet people, you get exercise, and you feel good about yourself, you know, protect me, you know what I mean? But I don't use sports, you know, so you could say something like, plumbers are great people, because they keep your house flooding, you know, they bring warm water into your house, you know, I mean, things like that. But why do you want to do it? So, why do you want to do it?
I took a course
Why is
in high
it
school.
good?
I helped a lot of time. The first one was that
And you say why? Why is it?
Not from getting hacked by hackers.
Why wanted you to go into childcare?
That's your thing. Yeah, that's your thing.
The second of them is that it all, cybersecurity helps protect organizations from hackers trying to destroy.
Yeah, there's two. Keep those schools in one summer.
Cybersecurity also helps to keep organizations ongoing and more working efficiently.
It depends on what market you're at.
Three things about it.
Well, our knowledge, military reading, and important to
Okay. And you, Elva, you got a copy? Which ones you gonna do?
Training,
Helps break
career,
data online.
jobs are everywhere in America, big bank seasons, career.
This monitors people's businesses and organizations every day, all day long.
That's just the top stuff.
It also makes everyone's organizations and businesses stronger.
Yeah. And a lot of things that you see over here, a lot of people like to weld, I mean, their job.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds similar to just being
retired, I
bourbon.
mean, there's a wide open field. I understand, I think it'd be pretty good after a few years. There's a lot of.
Wait, what?
How are y'all doing?
I'm like doing
What you got?
Is that people somewhere cool and keeps food refrigerated in warehouses.
I have a 23.
Or what do you got?
Keep us warm and stuff like that. Cook the food.
Real late? Are you gonna live where you're going?
Okay. Yeah, these I got two.
So what three things about that?
That was it protects
Very much, it is gonna be subjective, because your general preference is your so, you know, something just be so loose as be.
So big, or it has certain type in
Yeah, you like it.
So everything has a full.
That's pretty much what said on one sentence. Just have data. I mean, they're all just the same shit. Data protection, identity. That's what I'm saying. What other reasons could be?
The cybersecurity also responds to any problem that they can handle.
What do you need protection? So, what about HVAC?
That's true. I know that. What the reason you say HVAC is good? HVAC is good? I can say a lot of things actually. Let's say one thing. So what? So it keeps like, let's say, what you said obviously. Which was? Keeps us cool in the summer. Keeps us warm in the winter. Okay, and then let's say it keeps some certain store running.
So y'all got material, y'all,
It's just yours.
what do you got?
Just knock it off yours. Just say some bullshit. Wasn't supporting that. I love that. But yeah, but no.
I would see this would be like
Where y'all at? You done? What's your career?
Are we supposed to do our individual or all one topic?
Nah, I think all.
There's more, I don't know what other like mistakes. I mean, your news is super because yours not far. That's just keep us residential homes cool more in the summer. Keep some businesses like keep business with yeah. But look, does it matter? No, this is our I don't give a fuck. Yeah, man.
What was you said you're medical tech or medical system? Yeah, okay, so three things about medical system.
What's three things about?
like just like 3 things. Like,
You know, people are coming up
Pure
with,
shit.
you know, their jobs,
That's it.
you know, they
They fucking do that
you
everywhere.
do
Okay,
things,
that's
some
what
people
same thing I do.
flowers, some people
I know, but what
brought
they
up
do,
helping
what
people, you know.
fucking horrible.
That's why
I'm not
what
trying to
motivates
hold.
them to do it.
Shit, you don't know, bro. That's all.
Yes.
Yes, 3 things. Repair shit. Learn how to repair, perform, vehicles, performance. Yeah, I heard that first day. Which was the second worst?
Protects people's identity.
That's what I said.
Like,
Oh no, no, no. I said protect cybersecurity people, protect people's information and data online. Those are the same shit. I'm saying just like we're simple. Just say 3 reasons.
Bear with me 1 second, I'm not feeling like everybody's getting this, so I found some other thing to help explain this, which I'm gonna post on the
This shit's freaking fucking.
on the page. Okay. So let's see if this works.
Like data session, and then they keep This one's whatever he says.
Okay.
Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before. Your all-in-one writing essential.
I'm gonna put this out also out there, so just because this is, I think,
Grammarly's
I
plagiarism
like it,
checker
don't like
helps
it.
you stay original.
I don't like it because it's too
It's
simple.
Wendy from Worldwide Speak. And I'm back today to talk to you more about transition words. And specifically, I'm gonna go over some transition.
Sorry about that.
Starting to panic.
shit, probably. I doubt it.
Mr. Laine, sir,
Yeah.
what should I complete on illustration paragraph about what topic and
Yeah,
opinion?
do you have a topic?
About cybersecurity.
Okay. Yeah, so what is the topic? No. See if I can get this done right the second time here.
Yeah.
We'll be here in a second. Oh, it's not cooperating, so. I will post this, but the thing I wanna point out, just with the other example I wanted to use, is that,
Obviously not good at 60 to 70.
Well, technology isn't working. But nonetheless, we'll post something else, and it'll help explain a little bit more about what I want. I mean, you're gonna have your topic sentences, going to explain your opinion about something, just be a general statement, about your profession, things you want to do. Then I want 3 things that are gonna support that statement. I mean, people talk about, various careers being, good, but I want a little more than good. Don't tell me why. It's, be that sort of simple with the description around it. You could say, but again, in the first sentence, I want 3 things. If you're going to say prosperous, lucrative, creative, come up with good words to help support your general statement. And then going back to the video I just showed, in your first sentence, include the 3 things, and then have your connecting words, etc., and then have your conclusion. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, this is our first writing assignment of the term. I won't be like super crazy picky about things in it, but I want you to try to at least put the effort into it. Keep your sentences simple yet illustrative.
So when we do this paragraph, we want to do the MLA format?
Yeah, do it in MLA.
We gotta have the stuff
Yeah,
on the
put all that
side.
stuff in. Let's just get used to using that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Lane,
Yes.
how should I write the topic opinion for an illustration paragraph that I identified?
So for today's thing in the box, just go ahead and write, your topic sentence, whatever, or topic, okay? Doesn't really even have to be a sentence. And I just want 3 supporting, and they can be 3 phrases. They don't have to be full sentences. Because what I want you to do is to take these items and embellish them into the illustration paragraph.
And how many sentences should we write?
5. Introduction, 3 points, and a conclusion.
Where do we do that at?
You all should have a box. You may have to refresh the screen. I did see the box open in some. I see a question, yeah. No, we're not writing full thing. All I want the takeaways, because they talk about one of the points of this exercise is to help create your blueprint, if you will, for the paragraph. It's like the bones. You got the topic and the ideas, and what you're going to do is put meat on those bones for the writing assignment. And that's what I want you to do, to spend a little bit of time embellishing. Why is it a good career? What do you do? Why is it, that kind of stuff. I see another hand up. Yep.
So we're writing that in illustration paragraph, that's English or?
No.
Like right here? All right,
I create a Word document.
This is due date.
Hang on. Okay, illustration paragraph outline. So I actually changed the topic to make it a little, make it more sense. So if you see this illustration paragraph outline, so like I said, I just want your topic, 3 examples that support the opinion. So
That's all you want?
that's all I want for today's deliverable, right? Easy peasy. And then what I want is for the other box, when we're gonna go to write the illustration paragraph,
That's when we put it in MLA.
I'm gonna change some of this stuff around, but nonetheless,
No, the paragraph outline.
You want to do the outline today?
just the outline. Because what I want you to do is by Sunday midnight, just write out the full paragraph. Does that make sense? I mean, there are plenty of good questions. I just want to make sure everyone's getting this. So all I want today is just the bare bones. Like I was saying, it's like, this is, it's kind of like a tool that when you're going to start a writing assignment, just lay out what you're going to talk about. Lay out your 3 items. And then spend some time sitting down and writing the whole thing together.
So the outline of the paragraph is due at midnight?
No, the outline is due, preferably in class, just once you're button out. The paragraph is gonna be Sunday midnight. Same topic, yeah.
What are you writing?
Oh, what he told us to do is assignment.
Should I write the same?
Oh, no, this is mine. You gotta make your own.
Oh. Is a good career because it helps to keep people's data, personal details.
Okay, I will elaborate on this just a little bit more, but,
Yeah, I know.
again, I'll go back to the instructions, 5 sentences.
But like,
So,
Like, that's an exercise. You're supposed to do like what you're doing. 3 examples. That's it. When you put the exercise.
also, he doesn't want to like read in a certain way.
I don't think so. Just have examples and then use the examples with an exercise to write up actual as a
okay, so I want to move on to some of sort of the other components. I got a little behind with this, but that's okay. Because the big kahuna for really this lesson is writing the illustration paragraph. So nonetheless, a few things, and I know this is really basic. When we talk about prepositional phrases.
What's your name? What's your name? Giovanni?
Sorry.
What should I write?
Yeah, I want to sort of take back the floor. Contents. Well, let me just ask, because I sometimes I think it's just too basic. Does anyone want to tell me what a prepositional phrase is? No?
Phrases and phrases that come before something.
It's not a complete sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, again, let's go back to what a preposition is.
Words that show concepts such as time, place, direction, and manner. They show links
There
or.
you go. It says right in the book. I mean, again, I'm not going to examine you on the definition of a preposition, but I mean, it's one of these things where, when you hear it enough, you know what it is.
They show links or relationships between ideas.
Yeah. I mean, some common ones like, about, around, at, before, blah, blah, blah. So prepositional phrases, I mean, they give me things about time and place. They go through this, in a city, in a year, in a month, in the morning, in the evening, right? Okay. So I'm going to put out I'm going to go through a few of these things. And about using some of these correctly, this could be interesting. So on this first one, let's just sort of go around. Joseph Pilates was born in or at Germany. What's the right preposition? In Germany. Some people, there's a lot of slang. If he was born at Germany, no, born in Germany. So as far as the year goes, he was born in Germany in 1880 or on 1880. What do you think? in, right? 1880 is a big thing. If you want to say he was born on Tuesday, January 2nd, 1880, that's on. So we'll talk about the specifics. So as a boy, Pilates mostly stayed at or on home. At home, right? We're talking about on home, unless we're talking about home base in baseball or something, but because he had asthma. That makes sense. I mean, basic stuff. And I'm gonna put out, Excel style quizzes or whatever practice sets and this kind of stuff that I want you to go through. So you sort of prep you, because I think this is gonna be pretty basic for people. So let's see. I'm not even gonna run through this yet, because again, I think as far as baseline goes, it's pretty easy. So if I want to fill in some of the, let me do some of this. Actually, why don't we fill in some of the blanks here? So I want to say many people are familiar blank feng shui. What preposition might we throw in there? Are you familiar on feng shui? You're familiar about feng shui? You're familiar besides feng shui? Or you're familiar with, yeah, okay. And they go more. Feng shui complies, what we put there, ancient Chinese laws. About ancient Chinese laws, it complies, another one. To ancient Chinese laws, complies. It's almost begging, when you talk about complying, you comply with something, right? You've been a regulator for so long, you're complying with regulations. It's all kind of that kind of stuff. Does this make sense? I mean, is it super easy? I hope so, because we will have quiz on this in a couple of weeks, and I hope it's gonna be easy. But I will give you practice stuff to look about. So, okay. Let's see, what's our other one? So I want to go to 8. Another one that I hope is easy. Subjects and verbs. I know this is basic, but I just want to make sure we get these things right. And again, this is going to be key down the road. I mean, as basic as it sounds, when we talk about a sentence having both a subject and a verb, and it expresses a complete thought, it has sort of concerned me or surprised me, but not in a good way, about how many times when I've been doing these classes that people are writing sentences that don't have a subject or don't have a verb or don't express a complete thought. Now, the latter part of it, when you talk about not expressing a complete thought, if you started a sentence with a word like because I went to the store, I got a subject and I got a verb in there, but because I went to the store, what? So that does not express a complete thought. But I just want you to make sure when you're writing your any sentence, keep up with, make sure you've got a verb and a subject and it ends on a correct note. And this is where, in the video it talked about proofreading your stuff. Read it out loud if you have to, because I guarantee you just tons of people, have made the same mistakes. It's like, I made, HVAC is, the greatest profession ever, period. Okay, that's a good, fine sentence, okay? And then their next sentence is, because it pays a lot of money. Okay, that's not a complete sentence. The easy fix, obviously, you can say HVAC is the greatest profession ever, comma, because it pays a lot of money. I mean, something like that. So don't start a sentence with because and just end it hanging. That's where reading stuff out loud may help. So, again, it's going to go into subject and verb. I mean, singular subjects is one thing. Plural obviously is going to be more than one. Some of these things where pronouns can be subjects too. That piano is beautiful. It is very expensive, so it is going to be our noun here. It's our substitute for the subject, so to speak. So a couple of things. Again, I hope these are easy. So just do a couple of these things. What is our complete subject? And this is the kind of thing I'll put in a quiz. I'm going to say, here, tell me, multiple choice. Here's your sentence. What's the complete subject? So, Adele Lori Blue Atkins was born on May 5th, 1988. Anyone want to take a stab at this? What's our complete subject? Is Atkins the complete subject? What do you think? Adele Laurie Blue Atkins. Well, the answer is the complete subject is the whole name of the person. We're not going to parcel it out. What about this next one? Her supportive family was not musical. What might be our complete subject? So we know that family is going to be part of the subject at least, right? Family was not musical. So does anyone think her supportive should be part of the complete subject? Yeah, got a one yes? Anyone want to say no? Supportive, again, it's our modifier, so supportive isn't part of the subject here. You know, supportive is telling me something about the family. What about the next one? The sort of piggybacking on the prior example, the aspiring young singer entered a performing arts school. What might be our complete subject here? Anyone think it's aspiring young singer? Anyone want to go with young singer? Anyone want to go with just singer? Now think of the prior example, supportive family. Family is the complete subject. Supportive is modifying family. So does aspiring modify singer? Yeah, she's an aspiring singer, right? What about a young singer? She's a young singer, right? So it's modifying. She's aspiring. The singer is aspiring and she's young. So be mindful, the modifiers here are the complete subjects to be singer, and aspiring and young are modifying the singer. So let's see. Does it make sense? I mean, we only have a few minutes, and like I said, I'm going to post some of that Excel stuff out on these topics. And what I want you to do is go through them for next week, because these are going to be part of the quiz. We're having in 2 weeks, maybe. Well, yeah, it'll be 2 weeks. We're having a quiz. So, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to. I got our course. I'm going to add more of these. Be mind, just so you know. Under course resources, I have this thing, TENS consistency. This is going to be one of the sets for the quiz we're going to have. You hit the TENS consistency. You hit the download box, and you're going to have to. I highly recommended you do this as you're logged into the Gwinnett Tech library, and then you can open it up here. That's not library, but the online version. Open up Excel. And then you'll get here, and you go to the questions tab, and then you practice through and you answer yes or no, and you go back here and check the work. So, anyhow. Yeah, I'm not going to be asking you to turn these in. These are really for your practice to help prepare for the quiz. Yeah.
When you get a second, I have a question on this.
Which, on the Excel thing?
No, on the thing you have to turn in.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I don't know how to put that number on the right-hand corner.
For MLA.
MLA.
I don't think we need to do it anyway for that one.
Yeah, no, it's got to be MLA. Do you have your template from last time?
Yeah.
So did you not have the number up in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
Is it not there now?
I don't have that template now.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying, what you probably want to do is just open up the doc that you used last week. And if you're on that machine, it's probably still under downloads.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got 5 minutes. Okay. I'm just going to touch this last one. I mean, subject verb agreement. So what I want you to do is
What's the name again? What's the name again?
So I guess
Giovanni,
one
how did
thing
you
I want
submit
to
it?
say, again, if this
How well
is
did you do?
unfamiliar to folks, is that one of the, the sort of, I guess, ironies with, when you're talking about singular subject and plural
Just few
subject,
sentences?
is that if it's a singular subject, the verb is typically gonna have an S on it. It's gonna sound plural, Jay believes.
Okay.
But the plural
Like
subject,
that?
it's the other way around. So if you wanted to say,
That's too.
Jay and John, you wouldn't say believes, it'd be Jay and John believe, because you got your plural subject there, so you often just wanna think, what is not exactly, maybe logical. As they bring up something here, the museum displays, the ape roams, that kind of thing. There are some, well, these are all singular forms. If you say, I believe, you believe, he believes, right? Then all of a sudden, it's, we believe, you have more than one person, so you remove the singular. It wouldn't be we believes, and it wouldn't be I, or it would not be we believes, or nor would it be I believes. We're almost out of time. Is there anyone who has any concern about subject-verb agreement, any specific question about it?
Well, I need some help getting the illustration paragraph online.
Okay, but I mean, before, because I want to end this, because really what I want to do is throw out the practice sets, the next day or so. And what I want you to do is go through as many of them as you possibly can. They won't have scattered questions, but it's going to cover all the basics that are in here. Because what I want you to do is to go through them rather than me try to power through it all up here, because again, like I said earlier, it can get kind of dry and I don't want to lose you. But what I'd like you to do is to practice these things, on your own time, and come back next week and let's talk about how it all went. And we need to reinforce some topics. I want to spend some time on the special topics, because like I was just alluding to here, a lot of this stuff is pretty basic. Fair enough? Yeah, okay with that? Okay. So is your question answered about the, okay, you got that. Anyone else have a question? But this has got to be the MLA that is signed for next week. What I want is clean English as you can write. I won't be too difficult about, grammar errors, because this is our first writing assignment, and it's going to help me know you a little bit better in your writing. But I do want complete sentences, clean. I want expressive language. So if you tell me why, but give me examples. Examples I can understand. And this will be due Sunday midnight.
Mr. Lane, could you help me with finish the illustration paragraph outline?
Yeah. What do you got?
I wrote that cybersecurity is the one.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So all I really need, and it's okay if you give me too much, but it looks like you're starting to write the paragraph itself.
Yeah.
So what I want is the topic, which I can see there. But all I want is 3 reasons. So, yeah, data, details, and digital. Yeah, those are 3 things. That's good enough. I mean, I can work with the sentence. All right, y'all good to go? Oh, okay. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We kind of covered a lot, and we kind of zigzagged a little bit more than I would like to zigzag, but y'all free to go. Have a good week. Stay safe.